Good evening, YouTube. I want to talk to you about life in the wheelchair and how it's not the same for every person that's in a wheelchair. Every person is different in the reason why they need it or how it's built for them, regardless if it's power chair or manual chair, it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to focus on something that most people overlook is like the size of doorways, hallways, how tight the turn is, how big or small the bathroom is, type stuff. Things that are crucial because when you're in a wheelchair, there is no, oh, I'll just stand up and walk type thing. Um, where you can make up the gap difference. Like I'll use a parking lot for example, like walking into get into your back seat of your car. But and that's another thing also too. Besides that, when it comes to picking a vehicle. When you're either dating or you're married to someone in a wheelchair and it's a new marriage, you have to get to know the dynamics of how wide the chair is, if it's folded, if it's a manual one, to your trunk cargo to know if it's going to take it up or if you'll be able to work around it. These are all things that I've grown up with um, and experienced. I didn't spend my childhood in a wheelchair. Now I bounced in and out of it quite a bit with surgeries and things. But my point is that you can't take something off the shelf and try to fit it to someone who needs, let's say, core support or knee or joint support with the footrests, things like that. And people think, oh, it's so easy. I should. I've heard jokes when I was a kid about pimp my wheelchair because pimp my ride was a big thing back in the day. And I'm not saying you can't customize. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you have to do it in the right format so that it fits the need you need it to fit for whatever your disability is. And that's one of the things that I always try to explain to people whenever they ask me questions about life in my manual chair. And I've just learned how to use it and make it a part of me, but I'll explain that in another video. I'll call this one Understanding the Dynamics of How Picking a Wheelchair Works for Someone That May Need It. But I'll mainly call it hashtag Finding the Right Wheelchair to Fit You. Thank you and have a good night.